You know, there were a lot of good black sitcoms back in the day. Remember shows like Martin, Malcolm and Eddie, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Well, in this video, we will be talking about some of the top 14 black sitcoms. First up at number 14 is Sister Sister. This show is about Tia and Tamara, twin sisters who were separated at birth, adopted by different parents who one day accidentally meet each other in a clothing store in the mall. I thought it was pretty cool to see a show where twins who were separated found each other and they have to adjust to having a sibling, and both the parents also have to adjust living together as well. Even though Lisa and Ray have a rough start, they actually become cool with each other, and it's nice to see all of them become more of a family as the seasons go on. And of course, you know I couldn't forget to mention Roger, the neighbor who always comes over. He's actually a pretty cool character here and there, but when they get annoyed with him, they do not hold back telling him to go home.
Go home, Roger.
Well, you're not going. Go home, Roger.
Number 13 is One on One. It follows Flex and Brianna Washington. Flex is a single father who suddenly becomes a full-time dad when his ex-wife accepts a job out of the country. So that means he's going to be raising his daughter full-time. Besides Flex being a bachelor, it was great to see how they are as a family. Seeing each of them grow, Flex learning and improving to be a father, and Brianna navigating her school life with their friends, and the random drama or situations that they get into. Because they are in high school and you already know they're about to be doing too much, like when Brianna got a credit card when she wasn't supposed to, and Flex ended up getting in trouble using it because he thought it was his card. And man was he mad. Or when she even threw a party at some building, like bruh, they were just doing a little bit too much back then.
My daughter's not even here. She probably had the sense to go home, and now she's sleeping like a baby.
Number 12 is Moesha. This show is about Moesha juggling school, friendships, and romance. When it comes to Moesha and her family, you'll see good moments and emotional moments. Things aren't perfect, and that's okay. That's what I like about the show. You'll see her parents care about her, they look out for her, and just want the best for her. Even if she can't see it, Moesha is young and not gonna always follow what they say. You know, Dee is Moesha and Miles' stepmom. She treats them just like their own kids, and Frank, their father, can go overboard sometimes, like him being stubborn when Moesha moved out.
I'm gonna say something to you again. As long as you live in this house, you'll do as I say. You understand, Moesha?
Understand. Understand that nothing's changed. Daddy, nothing's changed. You only call me Moesha when you're mad at me.
But family is family, and they always come back to each other and fix things. Moesha spending time with her friends, I don't know, it just seemed real natural, and it seemed like how you would be spending time with your own friends, even though her friends are some characters. Like Hakeem, he's cool with the family, but whenever they got a plate, he won't be late. He always there to show up to eat some food. The show has a good amount of guest characters in it. Once rewatching the show after watching some other shows, I recognized some more actors in it that I didn't notice the first time around. Number 11 is the Steve Harvey Show. It follows a former funk star, Steve Hightower, who now works as a high school music teacher. To me, I thought the show was pretty cool. I like seeing Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer work together, and them being friends in real life probably made this show 10 times better with their scenes. When the moment called for funny, it worked. Disagreements in the show and them having to team up and work together was on point. Then there were times in the show when they helped out the students, giving them advice or being there for them. Like when Bullethead was embarrassed to bring his family to meet his girlfriend's parents, they showed up for him. Also, Steve taking in Romeo when his parents moved to a different state. He wanted to stay and finish out school there.
Thanks for hooking me up, Mr. Hightower. I ain't never have a whole room to myself.
Well, you can thank me by not leaving your shoes in the middle of the floor.
Mr. Hightower, player, relax. This is a bachelor pad. There's supposed to be shoes laying around the crib.
Of course, the different love interests in this show was funny, and it worked out in the end, but along the way, the different misadventures that happened was pretty funny to watch and also sweet at times. Number 10 is a show that has a group of friends that are probably unforgettable. That's Living Single. It focuses on a group of friends: Khadijah, Sinclair, Regine, Maxine, Kyle, and Overton. Each character played their part in this show. I enjoyed mostly seeing the back and forth between Kyle and Maxine, even though those two had their moments. Later on it showed that they cared about each other, even if it was on and off. Because they did appear in another show called Half and Half. I think they were married at that point and they had their child with them too, so safe to say things worked out for them. At the end of the day, I like the friendship between all of them. Whether they argue, have disagreements, joke on each other, they are there for each other and they care about each other no matter what. even if some of those moments were hilarious. Also, you can't forget about that theme song. I don't know what it is about it, it's just so catchy. And that's not to say that theme songs now aren't good, but back then, them theme songs was really great. At number 9, our head go, and that's Kenan and Kel. The show revolves around Kenan and Kel and their misadventures that often get them into trouble after many schemes that tend to fail. This duo gotta be one of the top ones for TV. In the show, Kenan tends to get into trouble with some of the schemes he comes up with, and Kel is just funny. He be doing a little bit too much sometimes. Like every time Kel is by orange soda, he always gotta talk about how much he loves it.
Yeah. Have you noticed anything strange about him lately? Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? Is it true? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, it's true. Ooh.
For the misadventures part, there's one episode where Kenan had a screw in his tuna. He tried to sue the company, and it turned out that Kel was the one who accidentally did it. And it was so funny to see Kel's reaction of him on the stand admitting it, bruh. It was so exaggerated, but he played it so well.
Mean it. I dropped the screw in the tuna. I dropped the screw in the tuna.
Or the time when Kenan and Kel had a double date with some women they met, and on the way there, Kenan got his head stuck in the gate when he was trying to reach for something, and all he had to do was just walk around it. To simply put, they be getting into some random situations. The show just doesn't let you down when it comes to the comedic moments from whatever these two get into, and with Kenan coming up with different schemes, is gonna be a good amount. Number 8 is Everybody Hates Chris. It follows Chris and his misadventures as he grows up in Brooklyn in the 1980s. I can say a lot about this show. Every time I was around friends, we would quote or talk about something from the episodes. Chris's dad, he can be cheap sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that, but he can literally break down how much something costs if they accidentally waste food or when they use an appliance.
See, that's what's running the bill up. You just used 11 cents worth of electricity. Eat that. That's 30 cents worth of oatmeal.
Rochelle, his mom, always gotta say her man got 2 jobs right before she quit. She letting everybody know, and that's probably one of her most memorable lines. His friend Greg, bruh, every time Chris was talking to a woman, he was like, "You so in there," and when Chris is out and about, he always runs into this dude named Jerome in the neighborhood who always gotta hold $1.
Hey man, we ain't never heard of that. So, why don't you let me hold $1?
This dude can't just speak and keep it moving. He always need $1. And what is he even spending it on? Overall, it's a good show to watch. It has some funny moments, quotables at times, and it's interesting to see what could happen next. At number 7 is another show that brings back memories, and that is Malcolm and Eddie. It follows Malcolm McGee, who ends up sharing an apartment in Kansas City and business with the relentless, enthusiastic garage and tow truck owner Eddie Sherman. These two characters are opposite of each other, and that's what I like about the show. Eddie doing something silly sometimes and Malcolm freaking out over it is funny because he's more serious and Eddie at times likes to have fun. And plus, adding in the other cast members, it just all fits together.
So I stepped on back towards your car. That's when the squirrels came out the trees, man. About 395 of them. And they little teeth said...
Then it even shows in their business. Eventually, they both own a jazz club. Sure, there was trouble in the beginning, but them working together pays off. I really like in the show, whether they're off by themselves and they shine on their own, or they work together, it just makes the show that much more special. Number 6 is the Wayans Brothers. It's a classic show that focuses on the funny adventures of Sean and Marlon. All I gotta say about this show is comedy. Sean is a brother who's more focused and has his comedic moments, but Marlon is just comedic. I mean, he takes what he wants to do serious too, but while in the episodes, you are bound to laugh at whatever he's doing when the episode has his moments.
You ain't scared nobody. What you want to do? Come on, what you want,
man?
baby?
You a joke.
I ain't scared of you, man. I'm grown now. I'm grown. I ain't scared of you. What you want to do? What's up? Back it up, son. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. Back it up. I ain't scared of you. What's up, boy? Watch. What's up?
Also in the show is Dee, played by Anna Maria Horsford. I apologize if I said that name wrong. You've seen her in Friday and many other projects. And of course, the man you can't forget about, John Witherspoon, who played his pops. Still can't believe he passed away, but he did such a great job acting while he was here. It was a fun time seeing these two on the screen with Sean and Marlon. D had her back and forth jokes with the brothers, and for Pops, man, that dude outfits was wild. He wore like these colorful patterned shirts, dress pants, and I think he always wore some white dress shoes. Don't let the outfit fool you. They had some fun times, but he was never too shy of taking that belt and whooping Sean and Marlon, but his acting portraying this character was very well done.
Let my belt do the talking.
Number 5 is A Different World. It follows the students at a historically black college called Hillman. I watched this show years later after it was released, and I gotta say, it's a great one to watch. I liked each of the characters' personalities. At times, it wasn't a dull moment. One of the things you could say about this show was that it had different issues and topics that we've seen the show talk about and saw the students go through. For example, in one of the episodes, Tisha Campbell's character in the show, Josie I think her name was, who had an STD, and people didn't want to be around her or have her handling their food.
What would you like?
That's okay. Kim's gonna take my order.
No, Kim is helping someone else.
Oh, this has nothing to do with you, Josie. Absolutely nothing.
Then there was an episode with Criss Cross in it, and they weren't getting along in the beginning, and they were from different parts of the town. Dwayne had trouble, but he was able to get them to get along. But the different stuff that happened throughout the show, it seemed realistic with how some of the things played out, and at times they offered some good advice during the episodes. I like how they had the different career paths with students, like Kim wanting to be a doctor, Freddie working towards being a lawyer, and Dwayne majoring in mathematics and engineering, and so on. Whether it was those exact ones or not, it was good to showcase them going into those careers, showing other young people just like them that they can go into those careers if they want to. I thought it was cool to see the perspective of a black college, the environment, the students, and the people who were older helping out the students, and those students eventually helping out other students. It was just something unique about the show that just really gets you to watch it. Number 4, probably one of my most watched shows, and that is Family Matters. It follows the Winslow family, Carl, Harriet, their children, Eddie, Laura, Judy, but Judy was taken out of the show later. You'll see Carl's mother, Mother Winslow, Harriet's sister Rachel, her son Richie, and of course, you can't forget the person many liked on this show along with the other characters, and that is their neighbor, Steve Urkel. First off, I like seeing a black family doing well. They didn't have them like broken in the hood like some shows do. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's nice to see something different. I thought the show had some good comedic moments, especially with Steve Urkel.
Yeah, it's more your game. No, I've been practicing. Watch this. Did I do that?
He's a funny character, he's clumsy, and he ends up destroying stuff, but besides that, you can see that he cares about the Winslow family, and it's cool that they expanded on his character with his family members. Or changing Steve up and turning him into Stefan Urkel. Steve was mixed in with various characters, and it was nice to see everyone's storyline, whether he was in it or not. Like Carl being a cop, some of those situations were dangerous, but they made it through. At times when it was Harriet, Laura, and Eddie, some of their stories had some emotional moments. We at the top 3, and number 3 is The Jamie Foxx Show. It's about Jamie King, who is from Texas, who goes to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment. To be able to support himself, he works at his aunt and uncle's hotel called the King's Tower, not only working with them, but with Braxton and Fancy. I think The Jamie Foxx Show is underrated. I don't see a lot of people bringing it up. It has such good comedy and emotional moments. Like Jamie being there to help out his aunt and uncle for their anniversary, and him trying to get Fancy back because she was engaged to someone else, and they eventually got married. If I remember correctly, or if I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the comment section down below, but I think he wrote a song for her when she was engaged, and it just sounded so beautiful, and it was such a heartfelt moment when he performed it for her. Jamie and Braxton are hilarious. You gonna laugh when you see them on the screen, like when they had a dance off in the part where Michael Jackson's song came on and they were dancing like him. That dude Braxton turned up. He broke the glass that had a glove behind it and was going off with the dance moves. One more thing, with some of the songs that I heard on this show, it would have been nice if we got a soundtrack or something. I know the music was just for the show, but man, it would have been nice if he made a soundtrack for it. At number 2, this sitcom right here is probably people's most favorite show, and that is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You already know the story. He got into some trouble in West Philadelphia, and he had to go to Bel-Air and move in with his aunt and uncle. Besides Will, another character that I like and many others like as well is Uncle Phil. He loves his family and he took Will in and treated him like he was his own son. A moment that I think was good from the show, which may be one of the most memorable scenes, was when Uncle Phil was there for Will after his father left again. Anytime you watch that scene, it's a powerful one.
How come you don't want me, man?
Like, you just really feel and see the sadness of Will wondering why his dad won't be there for him, and Uncle Phil making sure that he's there for Will. This show has been referenced to this day in many things, and it has a reboot called Bel-Air, which is a drama take on the show, and it's a great show to watch as well. At number 1, some of you may have guessed it, and that is Martin. It's a sitcom that follows radio and television personality Martin Payne. You'll see some of the show focus on his relationship with Gina, her best friend Pam, and the adventures with his best friends Tommy and Cole. This right here was one of the main shows I watched a lot back in the day. First off, just the characters themselves really shine in this show. Martin with his goofiness and sometimes outrageous moments, and his back and forth with Pam, who doesn't back down from Martin's slick comments. Even though they have their moments, they are cool with each other. Seeing his up and down times in his relationship with Gina, some of those moments do seem realistic, but at the end of the day, they do come back to each other. And of course, you can't forget about Tommy and Cole. Every chance they got, they always made fun of Tommy for not having a job, and Cole was kind of the dumb one on the show, but he had his good moments as well. He really went out there in the snow for them to get some food when none of them was willing to go out. There are many other characters that brought so much entertainment into this show along with the jokes. Matter of fact, let's talk about Bruh Man. This dude always going into Martin's apartment whether to get some food or like when he took the CD player. That caused a funny scene from that episode. Martin is just one of those shows that no matter the time period, you can just sit down and watch it. Comment below what are some of your favorite black sitcoms to watch. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.